"Sir, don't get in the car," she whispered, her voice trembling, eyes wide with fear. The rain poured hard that night, blurring the world into streaks of gray. The billionaire CEO, Ethan Liu, turned to look at the young woman standing under the security lights, her hands shaking, her wet hair plastered to her face. She wasn't supposed to be there, she was just a janitor. And yet in that moment her voice would save his life. Before we get there though, let's go back a few days earlier, to the moment when fate decided to weave two unlikely souls together. Mei Lin was new in the city. She had left her small town in rural China after her father's passing, coming to this bustling, ruthless corporate jungle to find work. She wasn't a dreamer, she was a survivor. Her English wasn't perfect, her clothes were old, but her heart was kind and her will unbreakable. After many rejections, she finally landed a job as a night janitor at Liu Enterprises, one of the biggest conglomerates in the country. The CEO, Ethan Liu, was the kind of man who made headlines every day, powerful, intimidating, and emotionally distant. After losing his wife years ago in a car accident, he had buried himself in work. To the world, he was a cold genius. To his employees, an untouchable figure who ruled from the glass office on the top floor. Their worlds should never have collided, but fate had other plans. One night, as Mei was cleaning the conference room, she overheard a soft cough. She turned and froze. Ethan Liu himself was there, standing by the window, still working even past midnight. For a moment she panicked, afraid she would be scolded for disturbing him, but instead he looked up and said quietly, "You can finish cleaning, don't mind me." That single kindness surprised her. It was small, but in a place where people feared him, it meant something. Over the next few nights, she noticed he always worked late, skipping meals, drinking cold coffee. Once she left a hot tea quietly on his desk before leaving. He never said anything. But the next day, another cup appeared, this time for her. A silent friendship began, built on glances, small gestures, and unspoken respect. But one stormy night changed everything. Mei arrived earlier than usual, and as she walked past the underground parking area, she noticed two of the company's security guards standing by a black luxury car. They were whispering in Mandarin, unaware that anyone else understood them. Mei froze when she heard the words. "Make sure he sits in the back. Once the door closes, it'll be done in seconds." "Does he know it's his brother's order?" "No, and he won't live long enough to find out." Her blood ran cold. Ethan's brother, Mr. Liu's own family, wanted to kill him. She ducked behind a pillar, heart racing. It couldn't be real, but the tone, the words, the faces of those men, she knew it was. She had two choices: walk away and save herself, or warn him and risk everything. Her father's voice echoed in her mind. Doing right is never safe, but it's always right. So she ran. When Ethan finally came down, tired and holding his briefcase, she rushed toward him. "Sir, please," she said breathlessly, "don't get in that car." He frowned. "What are you talking about?" She looked at him desperately. "Those guards, they're speaking Mandarin. They said you'll die if you get in. Please, I heard them." Ethan's jaw tightened. "That's a serious accusation." "I know, but I swear I'm not lying. Please trust me." Her eyes were full of terror and truth. He hesitated. Then, instead of walking to the car, he pressed a silent alarm on his watch. Within seconds, his private security team rushed in. They found explosives wired beneath the back seat of the car. The two guards were arrested immediately. Ethan stood there, shocked. His own brother had planned to take over the company by ending his life. If Mei hadn't been there, he would have died that night. He turned to her, voice low but trembling with gratitude. "You saved my life." Tears filled her eyes. "I just did what was right." In the days that followed, Ethan learned everything about her, how she had come alone to the city, worked multiple jobs, sent money back to her mother. He couldn't stop thinking about the courage it took for her to speak up when no one else would. So one morning, he called her into his office. She stood nervously by the door, clutching her cleaning gloves. He smiled, for the first time she'd ever seen. "Mei, you don't belong with a mop in your hand. You belong in this company with people who value integrity. I'm promoting you to an assistant position. I'll make sure you get the education and opportunities you deserve." She gasped, tears slipping down her cheeks. "Sir, I don't know how to thank you." He looked at her kindly. "You already did by saving my life." Months passed and Mei's world changed. She studied business, learned new languages, and grew more confident. Ethan slowly began to smile again, to live again, thanks to the young woman who reminded him that goodness still existed in a world that often forgot it. But their story didn't end there. On the anniversary of that fateful night, Ethan gathered the company and told everyone what happened. He looked at May, standing proudly among her peers, and said, "Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's a quiet voice saying, 'Don't get in the car.'" The hall erupted in applause. May's eyes met his, and for the first time she realized sometimes one act of courage can change two lives forever.